Welcome to another episode of
These Are the Aesthetics.
I go by the name of Cheech, a.k.a. the ladies' favorite broadcaster, a.k.a. the curator of good times, a.k.a. rain, sleet, or snow. I'm showing up.
That is a fact. I go by the name of Gary, a.k.a. In Gary with Trust, a.k.a. Mr. Sneaker Convo, a.k.a. Oh, I got those already, a.k.a. Don't stress me out.
I feel you. Don't stress me out. I got a wedding to plan. Don't stress me out. I got a lady in my life already.
Look at Bessie Boots over here.
But man, how are you feeling today? How's your life experience on a scale of 1 to 10? What went right and what went wrong this week? Let's hear it.
Oh man, I was at pretty much like because I just went on a little vacation. You know,
another one.
You acting like I go on vacation.
Nah, because for a nigga, let me tell y'all something. I'm a snitch. I'm gonna snitch on Gary.
So I recently just like came back from the Bahamas. You know, it's like a little cruise getaway. You know, me and my lady. And so yeah,
there's no such thing as a little cruise when you took a big boat to go there. So you went on a cruise.
I went on a cruise, yes. And I was feeling great. Cruise went well. Has had a good time. This trip just actually reminded me of how I was like, it is fun hanging out with white people.
Okay.
Because like all white people need is just some liquor and some good music. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't need no food.
They become the friendliest people on the entire planet. Correct.
1000%. But everything was going smooth until I got off the boat.
Okay.
Then like shit started going left like very quickly. So it's like I was at like a 9. Then I literally brought me down to 6.5. Because you know in reality just.
So what happened after the boat? Like what you missed your ride to go back home?
No, there's just like some complications as far as like routine change. Let's just say that.
Okay. I understand.
As far as like wedding planning, like I couldn't catch a break this week as far as good news to bad news. It was a lot of bad news this week with regards to like wedding planning. Everything is still
bad
good.
news for a man, meaning more shit that I find out that I gotta pay.
Yes,
yeah.
1,000. More headache. Yes.
It's funny how we find the pretty words to describe what's actually going on.
A change of plan.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Exactly. And then I texted Cheech earlier this week saying that, hey, yo, we still good for such and such time. He's like, I'm gonna call you in an hour. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, to piggyback off what you just finished saying, I did start a new job.
We hear this 4 times a year.
Yes, I know. 40 jobs Cheech. But guess what? If I need it, I can't ask y'all for it. So if I gotta go, I'm not sucking dick and I'm not killing nobody. But I'm gonna work my ass off to get what I want. Pause. Yes. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I started a new job. So I had to, do all the corny shit. Orientation, training, and all that stuff. And unfortunately, when you have a new gig, you are no longer in control. So you can't tell your new boss, hey, dog, this day won't work for me like that. So it's pretty much as the new guy coming in, whatever schedule they got or whatever days that nobody want to work, that's your new schedule now. Sure. So there was a lot of adjustments that I've had to make on the fly, just like you. Sometimes I help my sister out with, babysitting. That had to change. Even the time that we're recording this show right now had to change. So, but I'm great. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm able to work, put food on the table, pay my bills. So I can't complain. I'd rather go through this while I'm young and go through the motions and bump my head and figure it out than trying to do this at 60. You feel me? With a family of 4 and I got to figure it out. But on a scale of 1 to 10, bro, I'm honestly because I'm a little exhausted, I'll say I'm a 7 out of 10. And I'm only a 7 out of 10 because I'm on 4 espresso shots, a Red Bull, and a latte.
And depending on how the night's going to end, possibly a honey pack.
I haven't done. See, I'm celibate, so let's not even go. I'm currently celibate.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm good, man. I'm excited It was too many things that I've been taking notes on. The news cycle has been too crazy for me to push this episode back for another 2 weeks. Because, I don't know, with Trump in office, every day is an adventure. Every day is a new announcement. I don't know if we either getting bombed by a country or somebody's going to get shot on national TV. Who knows?
Speaking of Trump, when actually I thought about this on my way over here? When, like, America was great? When all black people had the same political opinion. Once upon a time, black people agreed on politics.
Well, it's good and bad because we were kind of like wired to think we all should be Democrats. So because of that, I will say I don't like group thinking. I think you should be able to make your own decisions. And honestly, personally speaking, this is not a political podcast. I don't think a country ever been great with black people. Facts. But this is not a political podcast. The only thing I would say is I think black people should worry about the local elections before we even get to the presidential elections. So let's learn about what's going on in our community and affect change that way and kind of work our way up. Because that's kind of where you get to pick the leaders that get to lead us for the next few generations. But yeah, man, I'm excited to be here. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to talk about. What are we starting with this week?
Hey, man, where do you want to start with?
Okay, let's breeze through music. And the word breeze is going to trigger Gary because Cheech like to run his fucking mouth.
Hey, we at the 7-minute mark. If this shit get past the 10-minute mark,
you gonna
please write down in the comments.
You gonna pull the plug. the talk of the town, the music and the album that everybody's been talking about, the thing that's been dominating the charts, the music charts. Cardi B dropped her sophomore album.
Oh, brother.
Anticipated second project. Everybody, unless you've been living under a rock, you guys are aware of who Cardi B is. Former stripper, former reality TV star, possibly former mattress actress. I don't know. I'm not in New York's business. But she's a renowned star. She her breakout hit was Bodak Yellow. Yeah. She's been on a tier ever since. Some say that she's only having all this success because she has writers and, people kind of placed her in the game to fight, get Nicki Minaj out of there. Some people say, nah, she's very personable. She was bound to be great and to have all the success she's having. But have you heard the album?
I tried my best.
You tried your best. I'll take that.
Tried my best. Because I started to listen to it, then I remembered, shit, I forgot. I had a dick. Oh my God.
First of all, you can listen to female artists even though you have a dick. Let's just say that.
For sure. I love SZA.
Okay. SZA is always a pleasure to hear and watch. So I understand.
Yeah. There's a lot of talent in SZA.
Yes. But I've heard the entire project.
Why?
Besides a few.
Wait, answer that question first. Why?
Why? Because I feel like everybody would be talking about it, and I love, I don't love Cardi B's music, but Cardi B's music is necessary for some of the places that I frequent. And I'm not trying to age myself to the point where I get to a club or a strip club or an event, and I'm like, what? Cardi B dropped? What? She has new music?
You know what pissed me off about Cheech?
We're journalists. We have to do homework.
What pissed me about Cheech is, I have to be preview about the new music on this Cardi B album. Like, any of these songs going to be played in Palm Beach, not until 2030.
It depends on where you go. I will say that. But let me start with the love. There's something on this album for everybody, especially the bitches that's been hurt, cheated on, been dealing with an ain't shit nigga for a long time. I will say that. You got your pop records with the Lizzo joint and the I think she has who else she has on this? She has a Selena Gomez joint, I think. Possibly. She has a Kalani joint.
I heard WAP is on the album.
WAP is also on the album. You stupid. Not her WAP, but the song WAP is on the album. You stupid. She checked the boxes that I needed her to check for me. Am I going to run back to this album because of the deep lyrical content of it? No. Am I going to go to sleep tonight and play it back from front to back? Am I going to take a long drive tonight and play this album? No, I'm not. But if I happen to be on a boat, if I happen to be at a pool party, if I happen to be at the strip club, if I happen to be hanging out with a young lady that's from a struggling in a rough upcoming.
Wow, why she got to be struggling?
No, I'm just saying, if she's from a rough neighborhood, she might be able to resonate towards some of the lyrical content of this album. So yeah, it did the job for me. My rating is, I want to say it's a 7.5 out of 10 for me. I urge you to listen to it.
I urge you
to listen to it. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to do the shit that you do for me. Sometimes when I don't care to listen to a whole album, I'll just send you the songs that I think.
You're not going to send me anything.
I'm going to send you some songs. Because I know you're going to appreciate the songs that I'm going to send you.
You can send me the music video.
Okay. That too. But yeah, I was excited to talk about this. Clearly, that's not his bag. He didn't really care. But I just feel like I would be doing a disservice if I didn't highlight this. Women empowerment. And she's pregnant with Stephon Diggs' baby.
I've heard that one.
So shout out to Love. Good luck on your bundle of joy that's on the way.
Can I ask a genuine question?
Yes.
Do we have to congratulate every pregnancy?
As a man, yes, you do. And let me say why. Because you can't come off as a hater. And realistically, I think it's just more of a politically correct thing to respond with, because you don't know the woman's situation. Some women can't find love. Some women, they put off having a kid for a long time, and that's their blessing finally. Some women, they put they put their shit on ice, and now they finally able to do it. So I don't know what the circumstances are and why you having this baby. Maybe it's to trap a nigga. Who knows? But I'm always going to say congratulations. Now, do I mean it? Do I care? Is a whole nother thing. But I think the courteous thing and the polite thing to say when somebody says I'm having a baby is to say congrats.
So my honest take with Cardi B being pregnant. Well, first of all, I have to address this because I can feel the shea butter ass niggas commenting right now.
Shea butter ass niggas is crazy.
So obviously, I want Cardi B to have a successful pregnancy. I understand the process of giving birth, the hardships of being a mom. I completely understand. I'm aware of it. So I want her to have a very healthy, prospering pregnancy.
Yes. For sure.
Now, if I want to look at it from the outside looking in, the only reason why I'm commenting on it, because she's a public figure and she puts out more than she has to.
Yeah. So, she puts her business out, which means we got to come here and talk about it.
Exactly. So what I would say is that with Cardi B, I'm not saying that Offset was a darling. He was an angel. But from the outside looking in, you were married. Well, no, not were. You are married.
True. She's legally She
is married.
She's legally
on paper,
separated.
She is married. Okay. I understand you can take time to date other people, this and that. Cool. But all I'm saying is, and with all the women that watch Cardi B too, do you think it would be wise to get pregnant by a nigga that currently has 2 new baby mamas? What are your thoughts on that?
I, as a man, don't think it's wise, because I feel like I wouldn't put myself in that position, especially if I come from a toxic situation already. But again, we live in a world now where there's rich nigga perks. There's rich nigga perks. So I feel like we live in a world where a lot of women are willing to bypass their moral compass because they meet a nigga that they love, or they meet a rich nigga that's able to sustain them and pay their bills until they die. Now it's not Cardi B's case, because Cardi B got her own money, but I do feel like Cardi B, came from a toxic situation. and she just wanted to have some fun with the hot, young, poppin' nigga that all the bitches want, and she bit more than she could chew, literally and figuratively. So, you know, having a little too much fun, which she told Gail, she ended up pregnant. Now, in my world, if I'm just having fun with a little vibe, I'm never going to get you pregnant because you are a good time. I don't want you to be my forever. But that's me, a man with a logical brain. I can't speak for Cardi B's thought process in this. Do I feel like she on bullshit? Yes. But
fam, can I just tell you this nasty...
If that's her version of love, then who am I to judge her, you know?
Can I tell you just this nasty, quick family tree?
Yeah.
Sierra as a baby. First of all, the whole catch I see is that, wow, Cardi, Offset, Future, Bow Wow, and Sierra kids are now all cousins.
Correct.
It's just a nasty triangle. All I'm saying is that, not to ponder on this too much, but I just, for the women that watch this podcast, sorry if I sound lame or I sound too realistic, and I understand that everybody's lifestyles are different than mine. I'm just here to tell you that this is not normal. And don't try to normalize this.
They not, but you know what they're gonna say?
I just have to put that reminder out there.
Oh, you don't understand it, or you understand it because you're in this tax bracket. If you can afford it, you can have as many kids as you want. But what I do believe, though, I do agree to that point, because you can only be in one place at a time. We're not God. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, it's cool to go and have 20 kids if you're able to. But can you be in 20 graduations at once? Can you be in 20 soccer games at once? Can you be in 20 recitals? Can you read a bedtime story to possibly 20 kids? Maybe if you have a big-ass room and a theater in your house. But, you know, it's exhausting, man. And I have a baby nephew. I don't even have kids. I have a baby nephew that wears me out. So let alone having a kid 24/7 that you have to kind of raise. Like, it's tough. I don't care how many nannies you hire, but at some point, that's your responsibility.
Yeah. Yep, but that was just my quick take on that.
But to wrap it up, congrats, Cardi. Love wins. Hopefully, love, lust, whatever it is, everything else in between. I hope you win in life, and yeah, I wish you the best. That's it. Yeah, I'm gonna hear this shit this weekend out. So that's me. Salute. Salute. The next thing that Gary did not want to talk about that I wanted to kind of breeze through again. There's been a lot of Drake snippets that's been surfacing online. I believe those songs were from the Certified Lover Boy era of Drake. There's one with Kodak that's super crazy. There's one with Central C that's super crazy. There's one with Uzi Thug that's crazy. I was having this conversation with Gary last night, and Gary was so, like, he was not engaged in the conversation, and frankly, he sounded like he didn't care. And I didn't know what I was more mad at. Like, I'm like, damn, is Gary no longer a Drake fan, or is he suffering from recency bias? Reason why I say this is because 3-4 years ago, if a new Drake leak was out, we would be begging Drake to drop the song or put it on an upcoming album or give it to a struggling artist because his throwaways or another artist hit. So, again, I just wanted to like, the thing that I don't want the world, like, cool, Drake might have lost this battle, but we're not going to act like he's one of the greatest rappers of our generation. He's one of the greatest musicians and accomplished musicians of our time. So I just don't want, I didn't want to sweep that under the rug. Like, okay, cool. Kendrick Lamar is equally as dope as an artist. He had his moment, but let's not forget that Drake literally, for a lot of us, has given us music and has given us, some of the best moments, of our teenage and young adult lives. That's it. So I think you kind of you kind of rain on my parade.
So I'm gonna tell you, you're wrong, and here's why. The Stephen A. approach. You're wrong, and here's why.
Wrong.
I did not say. So I did say I did not care about this topic. I'm gonna tell you why. It's not because that I'm not a Drake fan, because I am a big Drake fan. I think I say that at least once per episode. That's one. And another reason why I say it, that why I didn't care, is because, one, I don't put a lot of stock into leaks. Now, there was a point in time where anything that leaked, we would be all excited for, because back in the day, like, as far as like at least 5 years ago and back, we could actually guarantee, that leak came from the actual artist. Now AI has gotten so crazy where it's like, damn.
That's a good point.
There's these artists, did they ever put out this song? Have these two artists ever like did a song together? Were they in the studio? So it's like, it's kind of hard to be a fan of leaks today. And as far as like the reason why I don't care for
Lil
leaks,
Baby promised a leak album and it never came out.
We got different type of leaks, leaked audios for Young Thug. So as far as like with leaks, and I actually was telling Chiefs this last night as well, that like the reason why I stopped caring about leaks is because two of my favorite artists a couple of years ago, Lil Uzi and Playboi Carti. Bro, Playboi Carti has literally made a career off leaks.
That's true.
He's literally has a whole lot of red tape that actually did not come out. I have on my phone, but it's like this. And some people even say that's some of the best music that never came out. Same thing with Uzi. Uzi would literally like preview a lot of shit. Him freaking doing a shoulder roll in a freaking studio just for the songs to never come out. And this shit always pissed me off. So like I never really put full stocks into leaks, because it's like, damn, is this? So shit
you're a
never
little traumatized from past.
I guess you could
leak
say that.
Promises, so
exactly.
you feel some type of way.
I think the best leak that I've heard in years that hasn't really officially came out was the Super Soaker with Drake.
Okay.
And like the Lil Yachty version. And like I even heard like a better CDQ version, but it's like because of the fact that they couldn't clear the sample, the song doesn't sound the same again. Mm-hmm. So I just don't put a lot of stock into leaks. That's just my personal opinion. If it's not on the album, or if there is no quote unquote CDQ quality, I don't give a fuck.
I get it. I respect it. I just don't want us to act like Drake is still not Drake.
Everybody still loves Drake.
I'm just saying, like, again, I'm not.
I listen to Kendrick too, but everybody loves Drake.
You know, that's it. Now to get into the shit that I was equally as excited to talk about, we got to witness. Well, first of all, shout out to Chris Brown for putting on an absolute clinic and killing his Breezy Bowl tour. Say what you want about the nigga, he could put on a dope show.
For sure.
The niggas want to be him. The girls love him. He has the hits to prove it. You know, he's made some mistakes, but who's perfect? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. That little nigga is talented. And honestly, I know it sounds cliche, but he is the Michael Jackson of our generation.
I agree.
I don't care who agrees with it, who doesn't. Yes, you could find another nigga that could sing better. You could find, but you won't find a nigga that could sing, dance, paint, rap, fucking do graffiti, football, basketball, football. Like, you're not gonna find a fucking quadruple threat in one man. Like, it is, you know, talent like his are rare to come by. Speaking about the Breezy Bowl, and while he's on tour, he has this tradition now with his fans where he'll bring a young lady on stage, and this young lady, you know, her job is literally to sit there, enjoy the show, and technically get seduced by Chris Brown, because he'll perform the Take You Down record, you know, start grinding on the floor and potentially hop on top of the girl and eventually attempt to kiss her with the lights cutting off and you can't really see shit. The recent star of this lovely idea that he has is Kayla Nicole. Kayla Nicole, if you guys are unfamiliar, is Travis Kelce's ex. She's a former sports analyst. She also has a podcast. She's a model. She does a lot, just like every other influencer or baddie from IG that we know. Beautiful girl. She went up there. When I tell you that was the highlight of my week last week, if I could save that video 400 times more, I would have. It's amazing.
Calm down over there.
The first thing I want to say is I don't want to sexualize that woman, but her figure is incredibly, like, her shape is crazy.
Beautiful spirit.
I don't know. She has a track star body. You could tell she took a few dancing classes. You could tell she was waiting on this moment, and she looked like she fucked back. Like, you know, most women, as Chris Brown is dancing, crooning, and teasing them, they just sitting there acting in shock. Oh my God, like, I've been dreaming about this since I was 12. Like, Kayla is like, yo, this is my opportunity. And if you ain't never seen me like this, nigga, I'm gonna make sure you leave here tonight thinking about me.
That is almost
she definitely left an impression on Chris Brown. I could tell you that.
It looked like he wasn't interested in black women again.
All right.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Y'all better stop.
It's a
coloring
joke.
Shit.
Kidding.
But she did her thing. Again, Travis Kelce, I know you fucking with a billionaire. I know who Taylor Swift is, and I know who she be. But that shit that Kayla Nicole does, you can't buy that. You can't replicate that. You can't fake that. You gotta have it or you don't. And yeah, I would love to meet that gorgeous young lady one of these days, man. I think that would be dope.
Yeah, man. All I'll say is like,
I know you saw the video. What was your reaction?
No, my video was just like, damn,
you have the
like,
same Instagram as me. Just because you get married does not mean you blind.
Yes. I saw the video. I'm like, oh wow, it almost felt like uncomfortable. Where it's like you know when you actually walk in, like you accidentally walk in someone fucking. That's what it felt like watching it on my phone. Like, whoa, this could be on the phone. Instagram allowed this, but like, yeah, she is a beautiful woman. Actually, I didn't even really.
Oh no, if the crowd wasn't there, they definitely would have fucked.
No,
1,000%.
I see that, and to a point now where it's like, if there's a Breezy Bowl here in the city, my fiance won't be going.
we got Chris Brown at home. You want a light-skinned nigga that can dance? Bet.
Exactly.
Sit on this bed. I'll be right back.
Let me stretch.
Let me learn how to do a backflip, bitch. I'll be right back.
This nigga Chris Brown is doing moves where it's like, yo, no normal nigga can do this. This man is literally doing the worm dance between her legs. It's like,
yeah, G shit.
Shouts out to him. But
how are we gonna let that nigga get away with this shit in the name of just performative arts? Oh yeah, Usher's another crazy one. Trace, all them R&B niggas, they get away with a lot of shit.
Especially Trey Songz, he get away with a lot.
I saw Trey Songz on stage. But that nigga takes it to a whole different level. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight that. That was the highlight of my week. One of the highlights of my week last week. And I don't know, I just love. The last thing I'm going to say about this is you could buy sexy. But you know what you can't buy? Sex appeal. Like the woman with sex appeal, she could wear a muumuu. She could wear a sundress. She could be naked. She could have a whole dress covered her body from head to toe. If she just carries herself in that feminine energy and she oozes that type of aura and she's able to be soft and submissive around you, like you could tell, like Chris Brown could have said anything to her at that moment and she would have just went with the flow. And that's all.
That's all we wanted.
That's all we want. That's it. That is all we want, man. And I just, I love seeing that I'm not crazy and that woman exists in the world. And one day I might get my version of that. That's it. That's it. All right. So now let's get to the meat and potatoes of this episode. You, sir, saw the same Dame Dash Breakfast Club interview that I saw.
Yes.
What was your reaction?
Dame Dash.
Because I know you don't feel the same way I feel about Dame.
I don't. So I respect Dame Dash, but I'm sorry to say this. I told us to Cheech, cover your ears. Every time I see Dame Dash, he looks bitter. That's just how he looks. He just looks bitter. That's why it literally got to him every time Charlamagne called him broke. That's why it got to him every time, like, Charlamagne says, you're a liar. Because it's like, with Dame Dash, you have accomplished so much. The fact is, like, why do you always have to, like, prove yourself to people that you feel like you're bigger than, if that makes any sense?
I understand.
And, like, so if you guys we're talking about, like, Dame Dash approached, like, the Breakfast Club, and it's like, it's not the first time. It's because, like, the first Breakfast Club interview he was on literally broke records. He always was talking about how You shouldn't work for nobody.
Be your own boss.
Being your own boss, and it's like he's giving out a lot of good advice or info, but it's like you have to acknowledge that everybody can't be a boss, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. Now the thing is that Dame Dash, you always promote yourself as, oh, I'm a boss, but you filing bankruptcy here and there, and I understand he explains it very well on like how rich people like go bankrupt. He compared himself to Donald Trump half the time, saying that he's a good businessman. He's still a good businessman even though he went through bankruptcy and all that. And it's like, I get it, that's cool, but it's like, my nigga, you come in here to this interview with no respect. You cutting people off, even though you claim that they cutting you off. Mm-hmm. And it's like, at half the time I'm listening to the interview. It was entertaining. It was the best interview I've ever seen. But it's like the whole time I'm thinking, my nigga, if you don't respect the people that's interviewing you, why are you there? Mm-hmm. At least acknowledge the fact that they're giving you this platform for you to promote your business. Mm-hmm. That's all.
I do agree to a percentage of the things and the sentiments that you feel about Dame, because I feel like he's done so much that he should just let the work speak for itself.
Yes.
And again, just because you were up $400 million 20 years ago, if you got $5 million today, I'm not gonna look down on you and be like, oh, well, nigga, you never was who the fuck that you claiming to be. Also, I understand as a businessman, you're gonna go through ups and downs. You're gonna lose money. You're gonna make money. You're gonna sell companies. You're gonna buy new companies. You're gonna invest in ideas that never come to fruition. You're going to hire the wrong people. You're going to hire the right people. You're going to get screwed by your accountants. You're not, your people might not file your taxes for you the right way one year and you end up on the IRS. So I just feel like he doesn't communicate his L's the right way. And I feel like it comes off as he's being defensive, which is something that I always applauded Jay-Z for. One of the biggest things that I learned from Jay-Z, and if I'm ever as successful as him that I would, add to my repertoire, is fighting power with power. If a company comes out and says something about me, I'm going to go to my lawyer. I'm going to get my publicist involved. I'm going to get the right people that can handle this situation to get on the situation. The thing with Dame is responding in real time. That makes you look emotional.
Yes.
That makes you look like you got too much time on your hands to respond to internet chatter. And if you are who you say you are, you don't even have time to even see or acknowledge half of these things that's being said against you. Mm-hmm. And Jay-Z, as his former business partner, being quiet in all this mess, says a lot, as far as like their characters and all that. I do think Dame has a lot of game to give. He has a lot of things to teach. I think he should just create his own platform and take the Joe Budden route, which is cultivate your audience, figure out who cares about you and who wants to listen to you, and build it up from there. You don't have to care about the world. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to make sure everybody has that boss mentality. Okay, cool. You only want to talk to bosses. Create a following. Create a program that only caters to bosses. And if people are not, in tune with that program, then they not in tune with what you got going on. Everybody can't go. And I think he just gets too passionate. It just comes off as... And he's also a dick. Like, I'm not going to act like Dame is a saint. He knows how to talk to people. He has the proper vernacular and all that. I'm not going to say that. He's been a dickhead. He's done dickhead shit. But I also am going to say that a lot of people he helped become millionaires doesn't show him the same support now that he's not at the height of his career like he once was. So at one point, in one way, I feel bad. But again, Dame, you too grown. Sometimes you got to learn how to shut the fuck up. I love Dame to death. There's 1,000 clips of Dame on my phone. Inspiring quotes, how to get your shit together, how to fight through the storm, how to deal with L's and all that shit. Cool. But Dame, talk to people that are willing to listen to you. All that shit that you doing, you wasting your breath. And you at an age, my nigga, leave the rest of that energy for your kids and for people that give two fucks about you. That's it.
For sure. But definitely two takeaways. Like, two of my favorite quotables from the whole interview is Count Dumula and Wendy Williams is your OG.
Facts.
That forever is stamped in hip hop.
And my personal favorite, you triggering me.
Are you going to let me finish?
But again, all in all, but I'm glad I got a little bit of OG Charlemagne back. Yes. Charlemagne did not hold back. Envy did not cower against him. I love it. It just felt like the OG Breakfast Club was back for one day. Like, fam, I don't give a fuck who you are. You here because we have to ask you these questions. You choose to do this show, so you gonna have to do shit how we do shit here. Yeah. And it kind of made me fall in love with broadcasting all over again. Because not only they did it, they never, like, they didn't get out of character, and they did it, and it was tastefully done. Yeah. So yeah, man.
Just hilarious to be the most professional one out of the interview.
For sure. Prayers for everyone involved,
yes,
including Dame, especially Dame. Speaking of shows, going on shows, I know you've seen what AB did on the It Is What It Is podcast.
Adrien Broner, yes.
AB, well, there's two crazy ABs running around.
Yes.
There's Antonio Brown, which I hate to put him in that category, and there's Adrien Broner. Yes. Both of them, I consider them wasted talents, but that's my personal opinion. We could dive deeper into what I mean by that another day. But Adrien Broner went to the Mace and Cam show, which is called It Is What It Is. It's kind of like the ESPN, a ghetto version of ESPN's First Take, in a sense.
In a way, yeah.
It's a little comical, and they just talk sports like niggas.
Pretty much.
Without being under Disney and all the codes of conduct of being in a professional environment. But anyway.
They're sponsored by Pink Horsepower.
Yeah, which is a sex bill. But anyway, so Adrien Broner went on there and started making unwanted advances towards the female mediator.
Treasure Wilson.
Treasure Wilson. That's on the show. Cam tried to warn him and tried to tell him politely to stop multiple times. He kept on making some advances towards, or unwanted advances, without consent, and he ended up getting kicked off the show. On one hand, to start off, I do feel bad because I feel like he was on something, and after they realized that he was on either pills, powder, whatever the fuck these kids are taking these days. I sound like an old head. Yeah. Personally, for me, I feel like Cam and Mace did the right thing by, wrapping the show up and kicking him out. But I also disagree on the fact that they would even let him on air, sounding how he was sounding and looking like the way he looked. As a viewer, I could tell you this nigga was fucked up.
Yeah.
Cam, you been around fiends. You a New York nigga. You know a nigga, that's what a nigga on drug, what he sound like and what he looks like.
They saw ratings. They knew what was going to happen to an extent.
I don't like taking it. I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's Kanye West sitting here. If you look unwell.
I agree, Dolph. If Kanye is on some bullshit, Cheese is definitely still allowing him to come on the show.
I would allow him to come on the show. It would have to be heavily edited. I'm not going to make you look a certain way because, again, I'm not going to destroy your character for 2 seconds of fame.
You would allow Kanye to show up in his little black KKK outfit here in the middle.
I wouldn't do that.
I'm
dead at. I would not allow him to do that.
You're a liar.
you triggering me. You triggering me. But I want to say though, they did the gentleman-like thing, which is get him off the show. Because he was making their female co-host feel uncomfortable. But again, the show should have never happened because they should have stopped it from the jump when they saw that he was unwell. What was your reaction when you saw the whole thing?
It was pretty entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. I was entertained the whole.
I'm not gonna cap. It was for me too, but
it was completely entertaining because I guess what made it more entertaining is just like their reactions. Because first, I want to say shouts out to Cam, Mace, and Treasure, because I think they handled that to the best of their abilities.
For sure.
Because AB was definitely wilding. Like, I'm sorry, but like it's gonna sound very immature in me, but AB always keeps saying, "Yo, Stat." It's just so sad to look at.
Yo,
but
he
hilarious.
was overly thirsty.
For sure. And it's like no disrespect to Treasure Wilson, but
she's not that.
She's not like a supermodel, but she's a beautiful young lady. But it's not something where it's like you drooling over and like risking like your whole like bang for it, pretty much. But no disrespect, but she is a beautiful woman.
She is a beautiful woman, but dog, you still AB.
Yes.
Like at one point, you might not be as rich as you once were. You might even be broke. But dog, there's broke niggas that's getting it done out here, and it's like, bro, there's so many opportunities that you have. And plus, she has a boyfriend. She has a man too. You know that they acknowledged. That was present also. But my thing is, AB, if you ever come across this episode, dog, you could have done the player shit. You could have talked to her before the show. You could have talked to her after the show, or you could have just exchanged numbers with her and linked up with her that night, invited her out to dinner or something, bro. Like, I just feel like there's a time and a place for everything, and it's like, y'all niggas gotta learn, bro. Like, being thirsty and being overly eager is not the way to go.
Exactly. But and plus, I guess one thing I didn't like, I guess like the pushback the show was getting. I don't like the fact that people were kind of like critiquing how Cam handled things. I thought he handled it perfectly because first of all, he was a real nigga. He said, "Yo, I'm gonna pay you for your time," because one, you don't know like how AB got there, if he had to fly him out to get there.
Nah, the way he did it was corny. He didn't have to pull out. He didn't have to pull out the money and count like you paying me out like I'm a stripper. Stop doing that.
I disagree. Because it's like, I'm pretty sure there was like an arrangement ahead of time. So it's like, hey, at this point, hey, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to talk to you after this. So, hey, take your money. Cool, you can
Gary, you know why I'm calling this cap? At this level of business, you not even giving me cash. Why? You spoke to my manager, and if we negotiated a fee, you wiring me my money, or I'm invoicing you, and you paying that invoice. There should be no reason for you as another grown man that have respect for me to try to emasculate me in front of the world by taking out a bag of money like you're in a strip club. You about to tip me.
Well, but does that say something about Cam, or is that just states how bad of a situation AB might be in?
Dog, it's your show. We could do that now. We could hit a pause break. We could stop the show because it's not live. And we could do what we need to do and come back on camera.
Well, I don't really consider it. All right, so you call like what Cam did just as corny as like when Jim Jones was at the sneaker panel and the money was falling out of his pocket?
That was an accident.
That was not an accident.
That's street nigga shit.
That is corny. That is
it's
corny. I'm not putting that in the same category.
It's not corny because I know old niggas that walk with a bankroll on them till this day.
But my nigga, if you literally how he's freaking laying down and shit, Jim Jones knows something is falling out of his fucking pocket, but he knows I'm on stage as everyone's looking at me. Oh shit, my bad. Bro.
I know how that moment made him look, but I know street niggas and old heads that walk around with a little thick bankroll in their pocket every day. It's the same amount. It doesn't change. They don't spend it, but they just want to show you, I got it, young bull. I got it. I do this.
But as far as like with that, we're definitely disagreeing on like as far as Cash being present.
How Cam handled him towards Treasure was amazing, but how Cam handled him man to man, no. That's like me having a disagreement with you, and we bickering and we yelling and screaming over each other in front of the cameras. We could just talk when we wrap up.
I understand, but like to finish my point, like I just I don't like the backlash Cam got. Is like, oh, why do you have to even say, bro, her boyfriend is here? Is that the only reason why you stepped up? No, nigga. It's just there's certain niggas like AB where it's like, bro, to get it through your thick ass skull to leave the woman alone, yo, her man's is right there.
And we don't know what that nigga on.
Exactly. That's why he said it. As a man, I know why he had to say that, because we even have some friends where we have to tell that to, yo, chill. Her nigga is right there. Because sometimes it takes for that nigga to stop.
I get it. But like I said, you know me, diplomatic Cheech, I'm going to put the blame on everybody that the blame need to go on. I think this nigga AB needs to go to rehab, and he needs to chill the fuck out and get his life together before he even attempt to do another show or to be in the public again. And I think Cam should have handled that situation another time, another way. You could have highlighted this nigga manager. You could have not paid him for his appearance. There's other ways you could have stopped the show, had a talk with him, and had a brief intermission and come back. You feel me? You could have spoke to him before y'all even. Anyway, at the end of the day, I just feel like it could have been better. Like, but I get it. There's a comical a part of the show. I think it was like a content over everything thing. They just went with it, and I respect it, but I'm too much of a real nigga to do that. I'm sorry.
We didn't talk about it last episode because it happened the day we recorded. We didn't get all the facts. So, Charlie Kirk, politician, spokesperson, podcaster, content creator.
Was he a politician?
Technically, because he was technically
he was a political figure,
but he was kind of in charge of, like, he's pretty much the quote unquote reason. They give him the crown of, hey, he's the reason why the Gen Zs voted for Trump.
Okay, so he's an influencer,
sure,
a political influencer,
okay. Sure. But Charlie Kirk was honestly, he was doing a debate at a Utah college. And unfortunately, he was murdered in front of hundreds of people.
Okay.
Then it made it to the internet, and then everybody's reactions. Everybody had reactions in the country. Because obviously a lot of people are kind of skewed a little left and right towards it because of the fact that, like, he was a known right-winger. He was a heavy Second Amendment advocate. Okay. He's had a lot of, how I could say, obscure, very complex ways of, like, debating with people as far as, like, what needs to be done to get the country moving forward. Heavy Trump advocate. So it's very clear what side he leads on in every discussion politically, technically, or at the time before his passing. So obviously, then everyone is having their reaction. There's some people who are saying they're kind of parading his death, unfortunately. There's some people who are mourning his death. Then you have some people like Jimmy Kimmel who had their reaction just like everybody because he's a public figure. He has to talk about it. So as he's discussing it, he didn't really give his full take on Charlie Kirk's, like, death, even though they kind of had a back and forth before his passing. And so all, as far as I know, if there's other clips, please send it to me if I'm wrong. All I saw Jimmy Kimmel do was to really give Trump's reaction to his death. And as he posted the video on his talk show, and then kind of made, like, not really a joke, but it's like pretty much said that, like, the way that Donald Trump was grieving over Charlie Kirk's death was him talking about the construction going on in the White House, which technically that's all I saw in the video. That's all I saw in the video. Just saying. So what happened was ABC, Donald Trump, kind of, like, put the show on suspension, the Jimmy Kimmel show.
ABC, Disney.
Yes.
The government got involved.
Yes. The FCC got the show suspended indefinitely at the moment. At the time of this recording, his show is already back on. He already gave his monologue apologizing to the Kirk family. His monologue has, like, damn near probably 20 million views by now. So do you want me to give my take on it, or you want to give yours first?
Go ahead. Give your take on it first.
So now I would say is first, because I have to say this because people are getting fired over this shit. Let me just say the obvious. No, it is not right to parade someone's death. That's one. No, it is not good. No, it is not good to cause harm to somebody for disagreeing. That goes without saying. Can we all agree on that part? And no, I was not a Charlie Kirk fan. I probably disagreed with 95% of the shit he was discussing in his debates, especially George Floyd, but not getting into that. But that's my take on it. And as far as, like, with Jimmy Kimmel's show being suspended, I completely disagree with that because that definitely goes against our First Amendment, which is freedom of speech.
Correct. Okay, so in the great words of one of my favorite broadcasters of all time, when things happen in the world, I apply these three simple, logical things to it, right?
In other words, you're not going to get my opinion.
No. You're going to get my opinion. When things happening in the world, political stuff, religious stuff, women rights issues, this is how I process and think about it. The first thing I ask myself is, does this need to be said? Does this need to be said by me? And does this need to be said right now? The culture that I hate, the part of the internet that I hate is reactionary culture. The shit happened 10 minutes ago. We have no facts. We have no foots on the ground. We have no, we don't have no leads. We weren't there. We just saw a video from Michigan, and you have 30 wannabe news reporters online in real time giving their opinion on it, tying it up to things that could possibly have happened to cause this and that. It's good to sometimes process, give things time, let all the facts come out, let other people look foolish before you look foolish. So I say all this to say that I don't think Jimmy Kimmel deserved to get his show pulled. Reason being, number one, his First Amendment right. Number two, if he's not in violation with his contract and he's not directly assaulting anyone or being mean to anyone, I don't think that he did anything wrong. And at the end of the day, his show has a comedy part of it. Like part of the gig is being funny. And we've seen people go on the Oscar stage and say worse. We see people host the Grammys and have done worse.
We've seen the governor of Utah say worse.
We've seen the governor of Utah say worse. We've seen our own president tweet and say worse. So I do feel like we nitpick the people we attack. I do feel like we are using everything Charlie Kirk related to make an example out of people we don't like. I do feel like they're trying to paint Charlie Kirk to be a martyr.
The white MLK.
So I'm not going to go as far as saying that. But again, believe what you want to believe. Stand with who you stand on. But like I said, everybody has a job to do. And I believe in journalistic integrity. And I believe in saying the truth and standing on what you believe in. Now, his show is not back because he's so popular. He's so strong. He has a big voice and this and that. One, he was unjustly fired. His show is unjustly suspended. And number two, he has the right to now sue Disney for pulling my shit for political reasons that should not even affect the way we do business. So I think they felt like he was going to win a lawsuit against them. Because, again, you're not fucking with a black kid that you pulling off the air. This is another white man that you targeting that knows his rights and not can afford a fucking lawyer.
That's true. So
what a way to handle it. Kimmel did not say a word. He did not go on social media. And by the way, I want y'all to take notes on how to properly handle shit and how to actually move like a big dog. You know what Kimmel was probably doing behind the scenes? On the phone with his lawyer to make sure that he's not in violation with anything in his contract and getting ready to sue them.
Yes. Because
I don't think he's short for money. I don't think he's bitter that his show got canceled.
And his contract was about to be
how things happen.
Yeah.
But to wrap up this Charlie Kirk, Jimmy Kimmel shit, I've seen a lot of people have their opinions online, and you have the right to feel how you feel. I'm going to stick to my opinion. If you guys need my opinion on Charlie Kirk, Jimmy Kimmel, check it out on the Patreon.
We don't have a Patreon.
Give me a call directly, and we'll go from there. But you guys be doing the most for people y'all don't know. And I just want to live in a world where we worry about our own house, our own community, our own family, instead of fighting for causes that has nothing to do with us, that brings us no money, and that doesn't benefit and push us further in life. That's all I'm going to say.
Can I just say one thing involved? Yes. I'm only going to talk about this one part because I am extremely passionate about it. I understand how some bigots, white supremacists, racists have their own mindsets. Cool. But when I see people that look like me try to argue with me that George Floyd wasn't murdered, I just have to remind just one thing. Derek Chauvin, the police officer that had his knee on the nigga neck. Keep in mind, I don't care what drugs George Floyd's was in his system. This nigga had his freaking knee on his freaking neck for 8 minutes. Derek Chauvin was a police officer, not a fucking magician. I just want to remind y'all of that. So you can tell me whatever happened on the freaking in the video, but I know what I saw. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say.
I agree. And I think it's a lack of information. I think a lot of us suffer from an identity crisis.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of us feel like, oh, well, we can't beat them. Let's just join them. And I think that's the wrong way to view the world. That's the wrong way to create our own culture and to dictate our own path. I think a lot of people suffer from an identity crisis. There's a lot of people that look like me that think they're white because they have a country club membership. There's a lot of black people that think they're white because they play golf. A lot of black people think they're white because they have an American Express credit card.
I told you there was a time where all black people almost had the same views, almost.
So my thing is, I don't want to hear shit from anyone that's not doing any work actively in the community. And again, I'll quote you on this, Gary, to wrap up. If you don't stand for something, you can fall for everything. And that's a fact. Like and whatever happened to minding your own fucking business? I was so disgusted to see so many black people with so many things to say.
Oh man.
Weren't we not raised mind your own fucking business? Black business at that?
Remember that term bet on black? That was completely out the window this whole week.
Man, we got enough issues of our own.
Yes.
Y'all worrying about the wrong shit right now.
Unfortunately, there's bigger issues that unfortunately the people won't talk about.
We black people, I'm not even trying to be racist, we have bigger fish to fry.
Deadass.
That's it.
Deadass. And can we get the Epstein files? But anyway. What do you go by, man?
But man, look, I go by the name of Cheech, aka the Truth Teller, aka I know Gary thought I was gonna come out here and cape and cap and do all the C words. But nah, man, I honestly like black supporter, black culture supporter. Black business supporter if they're doing good business. I don't, and AKA like curator of good times, man, and good vibes, and curator of authentic experiences. Okay. I'll just end it with that.
And I go by the name of Gary, aka In Gary We Trust, aka Mr. Sneaker Convo, aka I'm not left wing, I'm not right wing, I'm on the wing of common sense.
This nigga about to run for mayor. That's his political campaign. It's crazy. Oh man.
And what is this, man?
These are the aesthetics, man. We'll catch y'all soon.
Of course.
Yeah, man. Keep it locked, man.
Keep them weird comments away from us.
Yeah, facts. We definitely gonna get a lot of flack for this.
1000%.